Good evening, folks. Welcome to Sunday. It is Sunday, December 19th, 2021. We're about to kick off another episode with the End Zone with Endy and Mohler. Welcome in, everyone. Let me get our participating guests online tonight. And we will get this show on the road. How does that sound, everyone? We go ahead and add these guys. Well, when they decide to come on. Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those nights. I can see it already. So here's what we got tonight. We got quite a bit going on, actually. And we're going to get to all of it as soon as Mr. Mohler gets here and Miss Lisa get here. So in the meantime, we are just waiting for them. And we're going to get going on Twitch as well, too, very shortly. For those of you who may be wanting to watch on that platform, we'll get that up and running pretty soon. Here's what we got on show for tonight's tap. We are going to document Lisa's, we're going to document Lisa's progress. And let me get Mohler on here.
What's up, brother?
Oh, brother. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Christmas edition of the End Zone with Mohler and Endy, or back, right, vice versa, whatever. Same difference.
Oops, sorry about that. I was trying to turn up the volume here.
I'm trying to fix this. There you go.
Put your audio up so I can hear.
I have you using the earpiece. That's probably why you can't hear it.
Yeah, I know. But if you turn it up, then I can hear it.
It is all the way
There
up.
we go. It was on my end.
You hear it?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Hear it?
No, I could, Mohler. I couldn't hear you.
Put your audio up, take your earphones off, and then I can hear.
Oh, we're having a little technical. So she wants to hear, because she doesn't want the double effect on her.
Don't you want to hear me? Or did you want me to
Hold
hear
on a second. Can you hear me without the headphones?
Yeah, I can hear you fine without it.
Okay, hold on.
I'm putting mine off.
Yeah, the bugs, because I forgot that you're listening.
I mean, if you want.
So we're going to do a little, so I'm going to try a little experiment tonight.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Because I'm in the Christmas spirit. So I'm not only going to broadcast this out to the Cheers for Beers group, but I'm sending Lisa a message.
Oh, I thought you already did.
I'm not going to be doing a Twitch stream tonight. And I'll get into that in a little bit. See, Lisa, for whatever reason, I tell her she has to be in this group so I can add her in this group. And it's like an every goddamn month thing with her.
I thought she is in the group.
She is in the group, but anyway, just because I can, well, pretty much, I'm actually going to attempt to broadcast this out on my personal page as well, too.
Oh, okay.
Without dropping on here. And I think I can do it.
Okay.
Because I was playing around with it the other day. I'm just putting a title thing on my personal page. Today is the 19th, right?
Yes.
Okay. 12, 19, 21.
So you use your computer or you use your phone when you do broadcast now?
For the group, I'm actually on my pad.
Oh, okay.
And for my personal page, I'm actually going to use my phone.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if this works without kicking everyone off.
I guess we'll know in time.
We will know in about 2 seconds because you know what? I believe I have this live on my page as well, too. So
Well, that means we should have about
I'm
50.
going to add. Yeah, no shit, right?
Watching at some point.
At some point, yeah, it'll probably be an obscenely large amount. So
Yeah, they don't want to miss the cocktail specials for the night.
I know I'm actually kind of looking forward to that because I want to see.
You got to remember here, I'm not a bartender. I'm a trucker. So anything that epic fails, it's not my fault.
So you know what? I think you and Angel could probably make something with that. You know?
Oh no, it's going to be like a kind of like we're kind of trying to do like a well, we haven't got into it yet, but we're going to probably do like just do our own like weekly broadcast on it and stuff, and just make it just out of the blue, just come on, and you know we'll have our shit prepared, and we're just gonna just broadcast it to the group or whatever, or maybe everybody, who knows.
Leila, welcome. Steve Bauer watching on my page, welcome.
Hi, Layla.
So here's what we got on tap for tonight. Lisa's going to come on at the top here, and she's going to update us on her her cancer recovery progress. Let me see if I can get her in here because she's actually watching in the group, but I don't think she has her camera on.
Wow.
So I want to see if I can actually. Lisa Spivak. Whoop, I spelled her name wrong. Nope. So, Lisa,
you have this problem all the time getting her in here.
Well, it's because I keep telling her what she has to do, and she doesn't fucking listen. She really doesn't. And I mean, it's not rocket science. It really isn't. But she's cursing at me right now.
Internet.
Yeah, pretty much. I bet she is. No doubt.
So, you know what? She says she's old. LOL. I'm just gonna. Actually, no, that's not gonna work. Because if I do that there, then no one else can watch.
My thing's a little all messed up because I have this cheesy box. I didn't bring my own box. Oh, to put my holder in.
Right.
Oh, you put that in your phone. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm leaning, so now I look like I'm crooked now. So yeah. If I can get up, like put it up like that. But
So Lisa's starting a group chat that is totally not going to work. And I've told her this.
Conk.
I don't know.
So anyway.
I think that.
All right, well, we'll get to her later on because she's off doing her own thing right now, and I'm not fucking dealing with that right now.
I need a cover.
We're going to talk about. I want to talk about COVID tonight because it actually hit really close to home. Some of you know my mom and dad were diagnosed with it, and you know, they've been laid up for probably like the last week with it. They're starting to come out of it, but I actually went down the other night. I took them some food and stuff, you know, because they weren't able to get out and like get anything. So I went down and I took them a whole lot of stuff. I mean, Mel made some meals and everything like that. So they're
So how long they have it for?
A little bit. I want to say probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks. They think they're going to get cleared this week. So, which is a good thing, because when they went and got tested, their doctor, you know, backdated it to, I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday. And Lisa, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yay.
Oh, hold on a minute.
And use them
Let me
all.
unplug Krista's headphones here. Okay, now can you hear me? Oh, whoops. Wrong headphones. Okay, how about now? There's feedback.
I can hear you. I just have no video. And it won't let me turn it on or anything on my end.
That's the point, because I've told you a million times. No, you're not going to. That's why. If you're watching on my personal page, you have to actually let me add you to a video chat. I told you this. Hey, there I am scolding her a second time on feedback.
Feedback. There
Oh my
went
God.
the echo. There went the echo.
Which is what I tried doing before. I tried joining you.
No, you were trying to create it. You were trying to create the call. You cannot create the call. I told you this.
Who is he yelling at?
He's
I'm
talking
yelling at
Lisa.
you, Angel.
Worry about?
Angel said Lisa has better things to worry about than you yelling at her.
Hey,
Hold on. Why couldn't you join?
Or this podcast, for that matter. Or like, you know, answering the email.
Wow, we're all like going backwards now. This is actually quite funny hearing ourselves on like a 10-second delay.
Now we're all situated. Got the
No, I finally can see my whole face now because I was sick playing with the and trying to get it situated.
And you
All
got
right,
Lisa on.
Lisa, I'm gonna hang this up, okay? Listen, go watch on my personal page, but make sure your camera's on your phone so I can just add you, okay? That's all you got to do. Wow.
yeah,
Phone at the ceiling.
What's up, Scott?
Okay,
Thank you for
I'm
joining
gonna
our show
get rid of
tonight.
that. Okay, enough of that. So she's gonna update us on her cancer stuff. Why can you see my whole head? Or is it like,
I don't know. At times, I always feel like your forehead is like missing.
Yeah. You gotta move
let
your-
me try that. How's that better? No,
Now you're up to, I don't know. Now you're kind of,
too high,
yeah.
too low.
You're
There we
on
go.
an angle,
There we
but
go.
I think
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Well, Angel had to adjust my camera because we had to like prop it up a lot better than what I had it. But what else do we got going on? We got Lisa's cancer update.
We got her cancer updates tonight. You guys are going to do the drink things. You and we're going to talk wrestling for a little bit tonight. Just because I'm humored by something. And they're actually ripping off Clash of Champions. AEW is. And I don't know, have you watched any of the product recently?
I watched AEW Tuesday for the first time in a long time.
So so you saw Danielson and Page had a 60-minute time limit draw.
Yes.
Which was absolutely fantastic. So We'll
That was the first wrestling I watched in like a while. I haven't watched much of Raw, and I haven't watched much of SmackDown, but I did catch some of AEW, and that match was fantastic. You know, that was great. That they went to a 60-minute draw.
It was really good. I mean, it was so good. A lot of people are saying that that's going to end up being match of the year when it's all said and done.
I think that was like the longest match they had on there. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, but the interesting booking part about that is Danielson now has 2 draws. Because remember, he went to a 30-minute draw with Kenny Omega his first night at Grand Slam.
Well, I didn't see that on the first. I didn't see him on his first night there. But yeah, I thought that was an excellent match.
We'll get into fantasy football.
Yeah, I know you have a beef about it. So, and once you can get into that beef, and I'm going to go over. I'm sure people have been checking out this stuff, but I'll go over. It's playoff rounds this week and next week. $200 is on the line. So I will go over that when we get to that point. I will go over the standings and the playoff seedings and all that good stuff once we get to that point. So either before or after your beef, but yeah, we'll get into that.
So how is it that is it the Western Division? It has every team except for one in the playoffs. I mean, dude, I feel gypped.
Yeah, because okay, so there's 6 teams in the West that 6 teams in the West that made the playoffs, and then there was 2 in our division on the East side. So yeah, so I cannot explain why, how this is just the way it is. I mean, I'm looking at I mean, it was quite an interesting season. So I mean, yeah, that's just the way it happened. So so I will go over we are in the playoffs now. So I will go over the standings as I'm looking at it on my computer now for those that may be watching that are in this. RGV Niners Empire Garza, which is Aaron, on the East side, is number 1 with an 11-3 record. Followed by Davin and Hobbs, which is Chris Vaccaro at 9-5. Followed by Mr. Endy's Bethlehem Boobies, which is 6-8. Followed by me, 5-9 with the Topton Truckers. Also, Abington Raiders, which is Matt Williams. He's also 5-9. But he's ranked 5th though, so I think it's more like a percentage thing or something. I don't know, or whatever it might be there. But and then followed by Albuquerque Pinky Pop, which is Jessica. She's 4-10, and Ian Wood, Trust the Process, is 3-11. So that is how the standings fell on the East side. West side, record 11-3, Team Moyer, which is Ryan, followed by In the Chase, which is Scott Burkhouse, is 9-5.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Bechtelsville Reapers, which is Ron Moyer Jr. at 8-6. Also, Rusty Bolts WD-40, 8-6. I believe that is Jason. Followed by Long Island Storm, 7-7, which is Chris Ferguson. Sixth place in that division is Texas, My Dream Team, 7-7, which is Kevin Nemi. And we rounded out with Bush Pounders, which is Mike at 5-9. So yeah, so that's how the standings shook out. Now, if I go into the playoff bracket, which I will get into now, how everybody was seeded. As soon as this comes up. So computer likes to take a nice all right, while that is loading, it's taking its good old time. There it is. All right, so playoff bracket. This is week 1. I mean round 1, week 15. So the way the seeding went, it was we'll start with ranked seeded number 8 was Texas, My Dream Team. Followed by Team 7. Followed by the 7th seeded team was Long Island Storm, which is Chris. Followed by the 6th seeded team, which is Rusty Bolts WD-40. 5th seeded was Bechtelsville Reapers, Ron Moyer Jr. 4th seeded was Davin and Hobbs, Chris Vaccaro. Seeded 3 was In the Chase, Scott Berghaus. Seeded 2 was Team Moyer, which is Ryan. And seeded number 1 was Aaron Garza's team, RGV, Niners Empire Garza. So that's how things are shaking up now. I mean, I haven't looked at any scores or anything or how anybody's doing them, but I'm sure anybody that's in the playoffs, where it actually means something for them. Like I said, there was 10 out of 14 people that put in $20, just for something to play for. So that will, which came to $200. So that will be given away within the next couple weeks once a winner is determined. So, like I said, good luck to everyone on that has made it, and that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, I do have people that I've been proposing for next year already, so I think we got eight teams in it for next year so far. So it's not 14. Which was quite a lot. I wasn't even expecting 14 teams. I mean, if you got good players during the draft, you were lucky, because it was kind of hard for me to find anybody really good after the first few rounds.
Oh, dude, you had the number 1 overall pick.
I didn't do that purposely. I did not.
Bullshit! I'm not buying that for a second.
Come on. I had the number 1 pick, and look where I finished.
Below me.
My number 1 pick was Patrick Mahomes. One player does not do it all.
Well, yeah, true.
One player does not do it all. I'm 5-9, so I could not rig this in any shape or form. 5-9. So yeah, I might have had the number 1 pick, and look how far that got me. So yeah, didn't get me too far. I'm in the consolation bracket. I'm not even in the winners bracket.
You and I are both in the consolation bracket.
Yeah. So yeah, I had the number 1 pick, but that didn't mean shit for me. So yes, so I have some news for those. There's probably not anybody that doesn't really know probably on here, since I've been spreading the whole gossip like the whole week up to the point of where I took the test. So yeah, I officially passed my CDL permit test for my A class on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to the new journey there. I'm not gonna lie, you know, I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, you know, I've had my CDL for like 8 years now. I mean, I've only drove box truck, but I've seen a lot of nasty crashes with tractor trailers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared shitless. I'm looking forward to the new journey. And learning what I need to do, you know, to make money. I mean, that's what this business is all about. You know, in any business, you're looking to make money, and I need the. This is the. It took me a while to get to this decision. As far as I went back and forth for a long time. To decide whether I wanted to drive the big boys. So I finally took the leap. I said, you know what, let me just, you know, go for it. And I passed the permit test on the first time. The permit is good for a year. I mean, I'm a quick learner. I mean, but I'm at the same time, I have a lot of time. I don't need to rush and go take the test. I don't need to do that. I just want to take this time now to get under somebody's wing. Let them teach me what I need to know to pass my test. Whether I stay at my current job is another story, because I know there's companies out there that are paying a lot more than I know my company pays for as far as tractor trailer drivers. So, when we get to that point, I guess that will be another decision I will have to make. If they offer me a good wage, when I get my license, then and I think it's worth it, then I will stay with them. If by chance I don't like the price, well then it's just time to move on. It's just the way it goes. It's all about making money, and I want to make the big bucks. So, and where I'm at now, I think I could probably do a lot better. And you worked there for a time, Mike, so you know what the situation is there. How different departments, different people work. So you know. So what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah.
So people just work in mysterious ways. So, and like I said, I mean, I have my permit. I mean, there are places that will if Primo wants to sit on it, I mean, there are places out there that will if you have your permit, they will hire you and just and will train you, and get you get you to the point you want to be. So if Primo sits on it, I could go, other places where they're willing to teach you. So I'm not worried there. So we'll see how long they sit on this and see how quick they
see how quick they jump on it.
Yeah, see how quick they jump on it. They all know, so we'll see how, like you said, how quick they jump on it. But I mean, I'm a patient person, but you know what? The way I look at, and I also said I don't want to rush into it, but at the same point, I need as much time every day that goes by now for me with that permit, is one less day I have to learn. So I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste a lot of time doing nothing. A lot of time doing nothing with it. So right now it's a waiting game just to see how quick they jump on it, and if they want to, if they decide to come up and make excuses why they can't train me yet, well then there's another decision I have to make. So, but overall I am happy. I've come a long way. Never in a million years have I thought I was going to drive truck. I thought about it like 20 years ago. Probably in my early 20s, mid 20s, I thought about truck driving, but then it kind of just like went away, and I kept doing my like warehouses and working in regular stores and stuff like that. So but I decided, just to work. So now I decided, like back in 2012, I went to school and decided to be a truck driver. So that was where I stand, back then, and made that jump. So now I'm looking forward to this whole new journey now. It's a whole different chapter now. So
I got Lisa on the phone. Lisa, hold on. Whoops, wrong button. So you were in the trucking business for a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I was in the offices. Yeah.
And you,
I did the billing and whatnot.
You and Billy were business owners, in a trucking garage.
Yeah.
No, it
wasn't a trucking garage. It was an auto repair shop. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you did a lot with New England Motor Freight, right? Or did you used to work for them? Okay.
I worked for them for about 2 years.
So
yeah, I did the billing. I loaded and unloaded trucks. Yeah.
Now, tell Mohler what you were telling me the other night about like the bonding and everything and all that good shit.
Oh, well, a friend, she's an owner-operator, or the last time I saw her, which was many years ago, she's the one who's telling me that they have to be bonded now. That if you're an owner-operator, you need to be, what it said, special insurance, I think it is, that they call bonding or whatever the hell it is. But it's like kind of important to have. But I don't know if they still require that here in PA or not. So that was, like I said, the last time I talked to her. So I honestly am not sure. So it would be something to look into if that's something you plan on doing in the future.
Well,
congratulations, by the way. When I was working at New England Motor Freight, I used to threaten the old timers to go and get my CDL license and put them all to shame.
Now, I'm the thing that amazes me, and I'm not knocking any woman, because I think any woman can do any job. But I am amazed of how many like truck stops I go to, and how many more women are involved in the trucking industry, and I'm happy to see that. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm not condemning any woman. I mean, any woman could get behind a tractor trailer, a box truck, whatever you want to drive truck, go for it. I mean, but there are so many women I have seen over the years that have gotten into this business, and it's great to see. It's just not a man thing. It's not a woman thing. Yeah, it's anybody can do it.
Exactly. When I worked at PIE, that was before I moved here to PA. So that was 87, 88 into 89. We had this one woman. She was much older than I at the time, who drove this big ass fucking long nosed Freightliner tractor. She would come to the terminal all the time. I can't remember her name for the life of me, but she was this little peanut of a woman, who'd been a truck driver for a long time. I was really surprised then. Because, you know, we were relegated to the office at that point when I worked there. But when it came down to being shorthanded on the dock or having to unload a truck because we were looking for freight during the day, I was right there out on the forklift loading and unloading pallets with the rest of the guys, you know. With me and John from the office and a couple of the guys who came in early. So, yeah, I did it.
Well, as far as answering your question, whether I want to be an owner-operator at this time, the answer would be no, I don't want to be an owner-operator or anything like or run on my own right now.
Oh, expensive too to begin with.
I just want to, but that is something, you know, that I probably would look into at some point, you know, God willing, you know, that I can do this for many more years to come. Maybe I would look into that, but as far as now, I'm just going to stay with, you know, like I said, it's not guaranteed that I will stay where I'm at right now. I mean, I could go so many places now with an A license, you know, and probably make, you know, a lot more money than I am right now. Because I'm not sure exactly what Class A drivers make, tractor trailer drivers. I mean, I've heard ballpark figures, but you know, but I think that's all just based on where you who you're working for.
Right, the company, exactly.
Like I was talking, I jumped on Mike's live yesterday, and I told him yesterday, I think it's UNFI or UNCFI or something. I think.
Oh, NFI.
Yeah, they're starting their A drivers at $28 an hour. I mean, I don't know how much experience. I don't know if that's coming right out of the gate, but most of I've been hearing it's like somewhere around like $28 an hour.
Yeah, all you got to do is look online on the ads, you know, for the help wanted stuff.
So yeah, so I'm just right now. Like I said, I'm just, you know, when I'm ready to maybe have to jump to that point as far as looking for jobs, you know, I'm not looking for one right now. You know, right now, my main goal is to learn the tractor trailer, learn how to drive the tractor trailer. I mean, there's so much more involved as far as doing pre-trips and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot more involved, a lot bigger. So that's my next goal right now. There's to learn that and learn how to drive it, learn when I need to check on it, you know, before I get into it and start driving it and all that. So so that's the goal right now, just learn how this beast operates.
Yep.
It
definitely is like, a different animal.
I don't want to be I don't want to be a victim of a tractor trailer accident. So you know, so my main goal, as always, you know, is the safety. You know, anything can happen, even being the most cautious driver. So, but just even in a box truck right now, you know, I go out every day. I pray that I make it home safely without no like catastrophe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's where I stand with that. So
yeah. I mean, well, like I said, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And the bad thing about it is, it's just with some of these rig accidents, they're happening more and more frequently. And
oh yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't see something with a tractor trailer. I see more tractor trailer accidents that I do like see box truck accidents. I've seen some nasty tractor trailer accidents over the years, and it's, you know, it's like kind of like rips your heart out, you know, when you're in that field, and you know, and you just hope that person made it, but when you see the scene of the accident, it doesn't look like maybe they didn't. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just crazy, insane things that I have seen. It's just, I said, all I can hope is that they made it, but there's
Yeah, you
so
gotta also. It's funny. Drove to Ann Arbor, Michigan, back in '87, and back then we were listening to the TV, of course, listening to a couple of truckers, you know, chatting between themselves and whatnot, and they were talking about four-wheelers, you know, the little guys who zip in and out and do stupid stuff like that with them, who have no respect for drivers at all because they think that truck drivers have no respect for them. And the one guy turned around and said to the other, I feel like an elephant in a field of Easter eggs.
Oh, shit.
If you think about it, it made a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's just, you know, there's just so much stuff you gotta watch out there, and people that don't. I mean, I see so many people cut off tractor trailer drivers, even regular box trucks. You know, I've gotten cut off many a times. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and most people just don't understand that a truck does not stop like a regular vehicle does. It does not stop like that.
Exactly.
And then they wonder why you get rammed in the ass or something because after you just cut them off.
Yep.
I mean,
there's a lot of accident videos on YouTube, and it's like, you know, amazing at the absolute what do I want to say? The absolute destruction that happens in some of these accidents. You know, whether it be the truck driver's fault or the little guy's fault. I remember I used to hang out with a bus driver at one of the MTA bus drivers on Long Island when I was, you know, back in the early 80s. And I remember him saying, he said, there was this one accident I had, the one and only that I remember him saying he had, where this older couple pulled out of a bank parking lot in front of him, and he couldn't stop the bus fast enough. And the bus just took that car and chewed it up from the beginning, from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, and spit it out like it was just a piece of junk. Whether or not the two older people were dead or not, I don't remember. You know, I can't remember exactly all of that, but I do remember just the statement of how he said it. Just, you know, and there's, again, you know, that's a totally different factor. Here's an older person who's not paying much attention or just, you know, not looking carefully. It's still similar end result, what I was trying to say. So, yep, it's not, you know, I get really disturbed when I hear people blaming, like, a truck driver or something. And yeah, there are the gypsies out there who are rushing and not paying attention, yada, yada, yada. But then there are all the rest who are the good drivers who, you know, are the responsible ones and the careful ones. You know, I used to get a kick out of, you know, I've done a lot of driving at all hours of the day and night, back and forth to Long Island and whatnot. And my thing is that, you know, you got a cool truck driver when you go to pass them and they flash their lights at you, or you do that for them. And when you let them pass, or I would pass the truck, you just flash the lights on, your headlights on and off, you know? So that's always that was, to me, was a sign of an old-time driver who knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and they're still out there. There's quite a few of them still, of those respectful that are still out there. There's still a lot that, just like you said, just don't give a shit or not taking their time or whatever. And those are the ones that wind up, in an accident.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, I appreciate the good ones out there. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there. There's a lot of bad ones out there. And
the same with car drivers, it's the same thing. Yeah.
You got your car drivers that, you got your good, regular car drivers, and you got ones that just want to be just idiots and just don't give a rat's ass either.
Yeah. Oh, I get them all up and down, the regular car drivers and pickup truck drivers and stuff, all up and down my street every single day. The ones who blow the four-way stop sign here, or, the tap and goes. Can't stand them, because I've almost been T-boned a couple of times coming out of my side street.
Well, this is the worst part of the year now. Now you're running into the holidays, and where there's like more traffic on the road now. So now you got to be even more cautious.
Excuse me, sorry.
That was rude.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
So yeah, you got to even be more cautious with the holidays.
I wish you nothing but luck in whatever you end up doing with that.
Well, yeah, now it's just take one day at a time, learn what I need to do, to move on, to get the regular license now. And at that point, I will decide, where I'm going to go from there.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget your extra endorsements, doubles, triples, hazmat, all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I've had hazmat before, when I did propane. So when I went into the trucking company where I'm at now, just doing produce, I got rid of it because I don't need it hauling produce.
Right.
So
right. Again, it depends on where. It depends on who you work for, what you end up doing. Long haul drivers. They have to be, I guess they have to be endorsed for many different things. You make sure your placarding is correct and all that stuff on your pre-trip, Yeah. Ooh, me.
Well,
sorry.
Doubles and triples is another thing. I'm not even looking into that right now. So maybe at some point, if I feel froggy enough to be hauling more than one trailer, then maybe I might look at that. But it's not something I'm going to jump right into if I decide.
Well, triples is pops, Triples you don't find here. Triples you find out west more so than anything because of all the long, straight runs they got out there. Yeah. But
triples aren't even
the insignificant X at this point in time, he was endorsed out the wazoo. He had hazmat, doubles, triples, and I can't remember what other endorsements he had, to the point of where when he had to renew his license, he had to go out to Harrisburg to do so.
Triples, to my understanding, aren't even legal in the state of Pennsylvania.
No, that's why I said you don't see them here at all. They exist more so out west.
And the problem is, triples, if it was me doing it, I would, it could pay good. I definitely wouldn't dab my hand at triples. That is so fucking dangerous. I mean, especially going out there through the high plains. They're just, and there's hours of footage on YouTube if you're into like rig crashes and shit like that of trucks tipping over the triples.
I watched my share of videos of that. Not that I'm like, my whole new thing now is I'm just starting to watch different videos with I figure the more I can, the more video watching I can do right now as far as how how to operate the truck, how they show you on YouTube.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is I started watching the pre-trip inspection on the tractor trailer, you know, because I know there's a lot to know on that. So, you know, if I can watch videos in between work time, you know, and then when I start getting involved in and start being trained, at least I know.
Mm-hmm.
At least I know what's going on, you know, because I've been, you know, doing my own research.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
there's so much to think about. So much I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but the more I think I, you know, do outside of work, as far as maybe, you know, stuff that might help me, you know, when I actually do hands-on, just watch these different videos. I think it'll go a long way.
Right. Right. Cool.
So yeah, definitely wish you nothing but the best on your you know, your
Yeah, it's just another stepping stone on my career, and just, you know, see what happens. You know, see how, you
Mm-hmm.
know, see where it goes.
and I will give you the usual don't die.
Yes, I know. Don't die. Your famous 2 words to me. Don't die.
I'll keep it.
Whether I'm going to the Bahamas, don't die.
I'll no, that was don't sink. That was a different thing.
Well, don't die, don't think, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're almost the same.
I can picture Mohler like swimmies with like little ducks on them and shit like that.
But yeah, I just came off vacation. Angel and I came off vacation from the Bahamas. That was a very nice trip.
How were the Bahamas? Like how did it go? I don't think I asked you. Actually, I haven't really talked to you since you came back.
Right.
No, the Bahama trip was nice on the cruise. And we left from Miami. It was a 5-day cruise. We went to Half Moon Cay. I mean, and we went to Nassau, and we went to Freeport.
Uh-huh.
Freeport was not supposed to be on it. That was like a substitute. We were supposed to go somewhere else. I don't know exactly. I think they changed it at the last minute, so I couldn't even tell you where we were actually supposed to go. But then they just added Freeport for a substitution. The weather was great. The weathers were like high 70s, low 80s. No rain. I liked going to.
Turks and Caicos.
Oh, Turks. What is it called?
Turks and Caicos is where we were supposed to.
Turks and Caicos, yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason they moved apart instead.
Yeah, that's what I told. I couldn't remember where they said we were supposed to go.
Atlantis was the best. It was so much fun. Like, I really want to go back and like spend a few days there.
Yeah, I like the slides. You know, maybe as another time, maybe we get to go there and try to go on the bigger slides. But yeah, it was a fun trip. And it obviously went quick, like any vacation does. But it was enjoyable.
That's good.
So,
A cruise is you get to sample all the islands and decide like what you like best. You know, like I think that's what's really nice about a cruise. You get to see a few different places that you wouldn't normally be able to afford, like each and every island, you know, but you get a nice sample of it. So we might, you know, Atlantis is very expensive to stay, like for a few days to stay at the place. It's just like it's so expensive. But to take a cruise to be able to like spend the day there and like enjoy the water park there and everything, like that was really nice and really worth it.
Cool.
So yeah, it was a nice trip. So we had fun. Yeah, there was a little incident in Nassau. Just a little incident in that Nassau.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad, but
It was confusing.
yeah. They were trying to push off these bracelets, like two women, but at the same time they were trying to make some money too. So kind of like a little bit disturbing because
you want to help them, but at the same time they were taking advantage of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, should I just tell him the story? Let me just tell.
Well, yeah, because you tell it better than me.
Let me just tell a quick little story.
Go ahead.
So we were on our way back from Atlantis. We're getting into, like, we just got out of the taxi and we're at port and we're getting ready to like get in line to show our stuff and like get into the cruise ship area. And there's locals there that are like selling bracelets and things. But she wasn't selling the bracelet, right? She just came up to me, tied it onto my wrist, like, and she's like, "Don't worry, Mama, I'm okay. Like, I'm just giving you this bracelet. It's for free. It's from the Bahamas. You know, we just asked for a donation for the children." And so right away, I'm like, okay, donation. Usually, like, I'm thinking like $1 or $2 or like a few dollars. But I didn't have any cash on me. I gave him like everything, whatever I had. So he had his wallet because he just paid the taxi driver. And, you know, he just didn't even have a chance to put his wallet away yet, which was like kind of stink from the beginning there. So right. She already like sees he's the one with the money. So she starts directing it to him. And he doesn't have any change or like anything smaller than a 20. So she's like, "Don't worry, I got change. Give me the 20. And so she takes the 20. She gives him 2 bracelets. And then she's like, "Well, that's for him and that's for you. Like, you know, that's like, you know, you what changed you?" Like, then suddenly she didn't want to give us any change. And then at the very same time, her friend walks up and hands him 2 more bracelets. And he's thinking, all right, $20, just keep it, like, whatever. You know, we thank you for the bracelets. And then she's like, no, that's for her. What about her children? And what about her donation for her bracelets? And I was just like, no, that's enough. I pulled my Philly card. I call it my Philly card when I have enough. And I put my foot down. I grabbed the bag. I'm like, nope, we're leaving. And I just walked away. And thank goodness Mike followed, and we just kept, you know, so just didn't have to like deal with that. But it was like uncomfortable, you know, because like I felt like we were being so generous as it was. And then like she's trying to get $40 out of him for like these little string bracelets. These little string bracelets.
It's a scam, and because they feel that the tourists are going to fall for it.
And we wanted, like, you know, we're humble, like, seriously, like, I'm so grateful that we were able to go on this trip, and I would have been happy to give them $20. Like he said, just take it, fine. You know, like he was being very gracious to give her $20. But then when she wanted another, she wouldn't share that 20 with her friend. She wanted another 20 for her friend. I was just like, oh, I wish I was rich enough to give everybody a 20 for, you know, for everything. But you're not in that position, unfortunately.
But yeah, that was the only little incident but other than that, everything else went well. But you know, you just don't expect that.
Yeah. But actually, compared to some other islands, like that wasn't really too bad. Like, no. Now that I think about it, it just made us very uncomfortable because we want to help and give, but then like she was like almost making us feel bad about it. You know, when we just gave her money. Like, I don't know. I just thought, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what they do. They play on you like that. Not good. You know what? Not cool.
The best thing, if you ever go to the islands, is get yourself some conch salad. It is the most delicious thing you could eat.
What salad?
I don't think they made it right, though.
They did. It was good. In Freeport.
What's it called?
Oh. It was good.
It's called conch salad.
Conch salad. It's kind of
difficult to CONCH, conch. Conch, like the shell. It's the snail.
Exactly. And I know you probably cringed to it, but it was really tasty. I was really surprised. It's so simple. It was just like peppers, onions, tomato, and the snail. It's diced very small, so it's all mixed together with like a squeeze of orange and a squeeze of lime, and it was just like kind of citrusy and refreshing. I don't know. I've craved it since we left. Now I've always wanted it. I always want the conch salad now.
It was.
I've heard
good.
of that. I've heard of that.
That was actually the first time I had it.
Yeah, me too.
But it was good though. But we had to wait so long for it.
They had to go out into the ocean and catch them, you know.
Yeah, probably a lot. It'd be probably be a lot quicker.
Fresh conch.
Probably be a lot quicker than us waiting for them to prepare it for us like we did, like an hour or something. And there was really no line, really. Just that.
It's not so bad because of COVID. I think there really wasn't as many travelers as there normally is. And I highly recommend this cruise. Like, it was so cheap. The price kept going. When I first looked, it was one price. And then, I don't know, I signed up for their Captain Rewards or whatever. And all of a sudden, all the prices dropped to $15 just for interior. $15 a person for the 5-day cruise total. But then you got the fees and everything. But still, like $25 for an exterior, like a ocean view. And then we upgraded and got the balcony. But they gave us a $500 credit. So basically all our drinks and excursions and everything that we did was paid for. Like, they just credited it at the end. So it was like so awesome. I was like very happy because normally these things cost like $600 a person.
Oh yeah.
So, or more, you know. So we made out good. It was a good deal. I love when I get the deals.
Of course. Deals are where it's at.
So what else do we got?
So I got a couple breaking news stories here for you. The Packers have clinched a playoff spot. They beat Baltimore within the last 15 minutes, 31-30.
That was close. That was a close game. I was watching that. That was a close game.
Mohler, 49ers won today.
Yes.
31-13. How about this? Dolphins Dolphins 6 in a row. 6 in a row, baby. Fins up.
John went to that game too.
I know. I saw it on Facebook. And I guess he wants something. You know what? And I'm going to message him and tell him this. If he walks out of Hard Rock Stadium because he's a Jets fan with that prize offered by the Dolphins, he's a traitor. He is a traitor and is no longer worthy.
So you're saying that he should not take? Are you saying he should not accept it because he's a Jets fan?
Yep.
That's so funny.
This story just broke within the last few minutes. The NHL is suspending all games with cross-border travel until after Christmas.
Oh wow.
The NHL.
I don't think Canada is allowing people in.
The NHL.
Canada's smart.
The NHL has suspended games involving cross-border travel until after the Christmas break.
Yep.
The league postponed 12 games involving U.S. teams playing Canadian-based teams from Monday to Thursday, citing a concern about the fluid nature of federal travel restrictions. The NHL has already seen 27 games postponed due to the outbreaks. These games getting canceled is actually becoming a huge story, not in the NHL, but in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's a problem now, too. Because now they got games being played later, like next couple of days they're playing because of COVID issues.
Well, originally the NFL had a stance that they were going to move no games whatsoever. There was a big outbreak in Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yeah, and this is why I'm talking about the Cleveland outbreak. It affected Baker Mayfield, Coach Kevin Stefanski, and I guess there was like 20 other players or what forth. The NFL said no chance that they were going to postpone the games. Baker Mayfield publicly laid into the NFL. I mean, it was beautiful, calling them more or less greedy bastards. And saying if it was like Tom Brady or what forth, then there will be no question that they would have moved the game or anything like that. And I'm expecting Mayfield to get like some kind of big ass fine out of it. But he's right.
Boy.
He's right.
No, he had every right to say that. Whether he gets any consequences for it or not is another story. But I mean, he, you don't do say one thing and do another.
Trust me, he can afford the
I mean, I think the NFL changed the whole protocol there. I thought
they did.
I thought they were supposed to, like, if you couldn't play, that you had a forfeit.
Yep. But I guess what's being swept under the rug with that is there were what's getting lost in translation is the NFL put out 3 criteria as to the forfeitures. And with these games getting moved out, there's obviously the one tomorrow, Raiders Browns is going to be played tomorrow at 5 on NFL Network. Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, Redskins are both going to be played Tuesday night at 7 on Fox. Because they were able to move it out without interfering in the next week, then yeah, not all 3 criteria were made for the forfeiture. So the guy who runs 506 Sports, he actually has like what the criteria is. So, let me see if I can get it up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask to see if you had it there.
Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can get it up.
All right. Don't watch how you say that.
Fucking pervert.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna keep my mouth shut.
Uh-huh. It's like trying to ignore the 600-pound gorilla in the room,
Mohler would be the first one offering to swallow it.
Oh,
I don't know
geez.
what the fuck he's talking about.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Do your
Come
state.
on.
Hurry the hell up because I want to get into your thing next. So,
I'm
good
trying
Finkel.
to behave, man. I'm trying to behave here and be quiet, and I still get drugged into it. I can behave at times,
So I went for the vaccine shot yesterday, the booster. And today I just absolutely fucking feel like shit. I mean, it is just this sucks. It's like my throat's starting to hurt now and all that good stuff. Earlier today, like, my back was really sore and everything. So here's the criteria for the games to be forfeited once the thread loads. So they said all 3 of these circumstances must be satisfied in order for a forfeiture to take place. Bullet point 1, a game is postponed by requirement of government authorities or medical experts or at the discretion of the commissioner because of ongoing health concerns of an outbreak. Condition 2, the league can't find a suitable date to reschedule within the 18-week framework of the regular season. And bullet point 3, the original postponement was caused by an outbreak among unvaccinated players on one team.
That's a biggie. I'm back, by the way.
Did you hear something?
People who are unvaccinated. Yeah.
Here we go.
Should be more responsible, especially if it's part of your job.
So
to be there.
Let's talk about the vaccination thing real quick.
Yeah.
Because I saw a report come out, I want to say it was yesterday, that the current vaccinations are 0% effective against this new Unicron variant or Megatron or Omicron or
Omicron.
Yeah.
Scott says Mike shots.
Yeah, he
I got the song from
He's looking for
Imagine
something.
Dragons in my head. And I shot through every single thing that I love.
I don't know. I haven't been reading up on it.
Now keep in mind, the
my
CDC, they're putting out things like every
you-
single fucking hour. I mean,
Yeah,
they
if
can't even
you
make
get-
up their mind.
If you get the booster,
Mhm.
which you got your booster yesterday, right, Mike?
Yeah, and I feel like shit today.
Yeah, that's to be expected. I got to wait another week. Yeah, just before New Year's, I can go get my booster. So, and I'm not going to want to because the day before that, the 29th, I'm having that second procedure done. But anyway, yeah, because I got the flu shot last week. So, yeah,
Yeah,
the flu shot,
most of the
people,
shots are-
because that's still hanging around. That's still a player in all this.
Angel said,
Right.
you gotta say it with a Transformers voice. Omicron.
It's Omicron. That's what she's got there.
Omicron. Actually, you know what? You know who would be great at that? And it's a shame he passed away. Orson Welles. He played the voice of Unicron in the original movie.
Yeah. He was up there. He was an ancient person. He was old, much older than I.
He had at least 6 decades on you. I mean, he was pretty old. He was what, in his
Yeah.
90s when he passed?
Right.
No. He was in his 70s, I think, when he passed.
I don't remember. I can't look it up right now.
But he passed
Where are we?
he passed
Here.
away before the movie was released, but he had already recorded the voice and everything.
1, 2. Ew. My birthday's in like almost 3 weeks.
We don't care.
Ew.
We don't care. We don't care.
Angel, I always get the flu shot because when I don't get the flu shot is when I get the flu, and I get it bad. I'm still having congestion issues from when I had the flu in February 2020. Talking to my surgeon, and I mentioned it to her when I went to my follow-up, I said, it was February. I said it was before they even were testing for COVID. So we both kind of agree that I may have had a mild case of COVID. Who knows? But never was tested for it, so I'll never know. But I definitely still have the chest and head congestion that I've been dealing with since then, since the flu. And I was really rather sick that weekend. So I got the flu shot, and I always will get my flu shot from now on.
So as of December, the CDC says you should avoid flying to these following places: Greenland, Italy, Mauritius, which sounds like some kind of STD.
Mauritius. It's Mauritius.
Andorra, Cyprus, France, Jordan, Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein?
Yeah. Portugal.
Portugal?
Shut the fuck up. Nigeria, New Guinea Pig, Poland, Trinidad, Eswatini.
Trinidad, Tobago. Where?
Eswatini, Switzerland.
I don't know.
Lesotho, which sounds like a drug name.
Lesotho is it's in Africa. Go ahead.
It's your mama.
Your mama.
Malawi,
Around, remember?
Mozambique,
Mozambique.
more or less pretty much don't go anywhere.
Pretty much.
That will give you the shorthand version of it, because reading through all these countries makes my head hurt.
How bad? Because you never heard of half of them.
They have to be new. Like when they put these countries together, they had to I don't know, like throw darts at something. And that the CDC also says you should avoid non-essential travel to the Canary Islands because of a volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
Venezuela because of a health infrastructure breakdown.
Yeah.
And Congo because of a volcanic eruption. They have a level 2 alert in Ghana for yellow fever. I thought yellow fever was done.
No.
Oh, there's some good. Lisa, get ready. There's some good ones on here. Yellow fever in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Zika in India.
Nice.
Yellow fever in Nigeria.
Nice.
Polio, it's back.
Yes.
Africa, Asia, and Eastern Europe.
I posted this on a friend's page this morning because he was saying something about getting his booster shot or something like that. I have asked my doctor about getting booster shots for all the childhood diseases that we haven't been vaccinated against in 40 plus years. Okay. I just recently got pertussis, which is whooping cough. That's made a comeback to the point of where a doctor actually contracted it and then passed it on to some patients without realizing it, and then actually died from it after warning people, get vaccinated again because it is bad.
All right.
Measles. We've seen the outbreaks, measles and mumps.
Lisa,
That's the first time I've heard about polio. So what?
Hold that thought a second, because I want to see if Mel joined the conversation on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we're talking vaccines on stuff. You want to join in on this?
Like, what are you talking about?
That one you just, what was that one you just got? By the way, Lisa's on here too. What was that one you just had to have updated?
Well, I had the DTaP. Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Mel.
Oh, I had to have the MMR. I needed the MMR. I got that back in '77. Well, no. What was it? 2 years ago, when there was the slight measles outbreak. Yeah. Yeah. I actually had my my antibodies tested because they said I was right on the borderline, and I needed to get a blood test for my thyroid anyway. So I said, you know what, throw on the blood test to see, you know, just to make sure, because she didn't want to give it to me without knowing if my immune was still there or not. Right, right. And my immunity came back as not covered for measles. Mm-hmm. So I had to get a booster of the MMR because I was not immune for measles. Right. At this point, at our ages, well, I'm older than you guys, but at my age especially, that is why I was saying, let me look into this, because, like I said, I had the MMR because I had missed one when I was in school. Mm-hmm. I had in my junior year of high school, 77 is when I got my booster shot from then. So I haven't had another one since. We're talking, what, 44 years? Right, and the MMR boosters are supposed to be, like, pretty much lifetime. It's my understanding when you hit age about 60 to 70, you could lose immunity about that point. Yeah. But at my age, I never should have lost immunity. What it was is they found out that in that time frame, right, of when you would have received the third shot, which is, I think, at, like, age 2, they actually had a series of shots that actually failed. Hence the reason why they were saying people of age 50 and, like, I think it was like 48 to 50 and older, they were telling them to consult their doctors about getting a possible another one sooner than what they normally would have.
Right.
Because they were finding that, that third shot failed, and people weren't as covered, people weren't covered who thought they were.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why I went down that whole path, asking my doctor if I should be concerned, because I saw her shortly after those reports came out saying that, somebody, I think it was like 48 or 47 or something like that they should be, consulting their doctor.
Right.
And Mel, the reason why I brought you in on this is we're talking about travel restrictions right now. And some of the things that are on here, I haven't heard in years. Like, for example, polio is making a comeback in Africa and Europe, parts of Asia. Yellow fever is back in Ghana and Nigeria. And then you also have like...
But see, and see, that's the thing, Mike. That's why, okay, so a lot of these diseases that we vaccinate for,
right,
we have achieved herd immunity within the United States.
That's because the United States is like MJF, better than you, and you know it.
Well, please, oh God. Anyway, herd immunity within the United States. If we can, for any disease, if we can reach herd immunity, we can maintain and then it not become a widespread thing.
Right.
Any disease. I mean, if you think about the poorest countries in the world, they don't vaccinate against measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, shingles, smallpox, all of those diseases that we have been able to eradicate in the United States.
Yep.
The problem with COVID is it's spreading so quickly from one person coming in that a lot of people are starting to think we will never be able to actually get herd immunity against COVID unless we can vaccinate every single living being on the entire world, which is going to take centuries to do.
Exactly.
So, will we ever be able to achieve herd immunity in the United States? Eventually, I think we will.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a long time.
Yep.
And we need to find a vaccine that will cover all mutations of COVID.
That's the tough one.
That's the tough point. That is going to be the thing that is going to take quite a while to come up with. Because one flu shot does not cover all flus.
Exactly. It covers the one that they believe is going to death. I used to, my former babysitter's daughter used to work for Sanofi. So they do the flu vaccine, or they used to.
And they track these things. They put flus around and they take a stab at what next year's flu is going to be.
Exactly.
And sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they fail miserably.
Right.
And you'll see the trends of, the flu spiked, the flu, was normal, the flu was really down. And you'll see, these spikes and stuff like that. You'll see it. So if you ever were to sit down and you'd see that, is COVID going to be the same thing, though?
I don't think so.
Are we going to have like a yearly COVID shot that's going to be like, are we going to take a stab at what variant of COVID is going to be this year? Who knows what the future is going to hold now? I mean, we have another flu-like disease that is even more contagious than the flu.
Right. Did they ever, I'm trying to recall, did they ever come up with anything for SARS? Because this is very
Not to
much
my knowledge.
similar to SARS.
Not to my knowledge either as well.
Mohler, you hear anything about that?
Still nasty.
No, I didn't hear
They've
nothing.
been nasty in Japan for years, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in Korea and Japan, there's, certain days that they call them high infection days, that they, are high infectious days, that they make it, they tell everybody that they have to mask when they leave, I do know over in Korea, they do the same thing. A lot of that has to do with pollution though, too, as well.
Yeah.
But, it's, just makes you wonder, there are things that other countries, already have to do, and it's, have we been able to stave it off for all these years? And now we're going to be just as susceptible as they have been because of overpopulation. Think about it, and in China, that's one of their biggest downfalls is overpopulation. For the reason why they're able to spread things very quickly. Yeah. The poor neighborhoods in the United States, you have more than one generation of a family living in a house at a time. They're, in the overpopulated poor areas, it's spreading very quickly. Again, it's overpopulation, in those areas. So, is it getting worse in the United States because we're overpopulating, compared to, other times that things have, and stuff, there's a lot of ifs, there's a lot of whys, there's a lot of things that medical science is not perfect. It's not like the weather where you can, look at a weather map and know what's going to happen. Medical science, even then it's not perfect. But I mean, you can get a general forecast of what's going to happen and be close, but medical science is not like that. You can't just look at trends of what's happening now and know what's going to happen in the future, 5 days, 2 days, 3 days down the road. Mike is one of those who doesn't understand this, and we've had this argument numerous times. He wants the data. He wants the proof. Science is not like that. Again, Lisa, you even just said it too. The weather isn't 100% predictable. You can look at stuff and, 10 days out, you say, oh, well, this is what's going to happen, but it changes. Right. Science is the same way. Things mutate, things form, things change. So something that you thought was going to happen 10 days from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, can change. Cancers, evolve and change. Hence the reason why there is no one universal treatment for each individual different type of cancer. Sure. Because each one is different. Each variant of COVID, of SARS, is different as well. Hence the reason why there may never be one treatment for the disease, and that those two diseases aren't the only ones. I mean, So, I know that's been a huge argument between me and Mike because he's a data and analytical guy, hence why he's so into weather, that he just doesn't get the science behind medicine.
Right. To an extent, if you
he just doesn't. No, he just doesn't get it. It's okay to admit, Lisa. He'll tell you to himself.
No, I know.
He doesn't get
it.
Another reason.
But what I found was that with the options that I've been told I have as far as my treatment for my cancer, I have 3 options. Okay, technically.
Yeah, and they can tell you that this one has an 80% chance of working. This one has a 60% chance of working. I'm just throwing out numbers. This one has a 90% chance of working. I mean, obviously you're going to choose the 90% chance one, but there's a 10% chance you chose wrong.
Exactly.
Depending upon the treatment you want to go through, they always, there's a percentage because they don't know. They can't say that specifically this cancer with this treatment is always going to work. It's science. Things change. Things evolve.
But regardless, you're always going to have
different DNA introduced to a different disease with a different type of treatment doesn't work the same way for every single person because everybody's DNA is different. Right. That means every disease is different because it's been altered by your DNA. So not every treatment is going to be universal.
But regardless, you're still going to have a 50-50 shot. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. And the reason that I brought this up was because, Lisa, you and I recently were talking about scarlet fever. That I guess that was making a comeback, too, when we were doing the brakes on your cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that we had.
There's been a lot of diseases that have been making a comeback, and I think it's because herd immunity can only be maintained for a certain period of time for any disease because the immunity dissolves over time.
Season 7 of House.
Let me put something real quick about scarlet fever.
Mm-hmm.
When they had a strep outbreak here in the elementary school back when Paula was, I don't know, second, third, fourth grade or something like that.
Back
the neighbor
paper
kid,
and pencils were introduced for the first time.
He ended up having to be life flighted to Geisinger because he ended up with a very bad case of not only scarlet fever but double pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically because what happens is scarlet fever is a lot of times caused by the same bacteria that strep throat is, the streptococcal virus, or I can't remember if it's a virus or what.
It's an infection. It's an infection.
Right. But it's either a virus or a bacteria.
It's bacterial.
Okay, so if it's bacterial, it can be treated with antibiotics. If it's a virus, it cannot be treated with antibiotics. Like I said, this kid was out of school for 2.5 months because of that. He had 2 chest tubes. He was, like I said, life flighted up to up to Geisinger at the time. And because of that, because of this case of scarlet fever, the CDC got involved.
Yes.
It was something that I had actually never heard of people getting scarlet fever in my lifetime, you know. But I also came to find out that my niece Jen, who lives in Montana, had it. I didn't know that. So it happened. But again, there's no vaccination for that. So it's one of those things. Now, the DTaP I got is the same as the DT kids we got when we were kids. Diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. So diphtheria is diphtheria. Tetanus, of course, is a tetanus shot. We can get a 10-year booster for that. And the pertussis is the whooping cough. So I just recently was revaccinated for all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Whooping cough is making a big comeback, especially in kids.
Yeah, do you know why?
No, humor me.
It's spread from contact. It's a contact spread thing. If you're exposed to it and you don't know it, and you hold your children in your arms, they can get it. It's that simple for that. And like I said, there was a doctor up near the Wilkes-Barre area who was trying to warn people that they needed to get vaccinated for that again because it was making a comeback. He got it. And
again, you know, I go back to say that herd immunity is only so long because immunity lessens over time. I mean, we've recently found, within the last few months, we found out that the first 2 shots of, you know, the COVID vaccine after 6 months are only 60% effective. You know, on the very, you know, hence the reason for the booster. You know, Mike was like all over, like, well, this is ridiculous. Why do we have to get the third? You know, and I said, well, why do you have to get 3 MMRs as a kid? You go, what is it? 2 months, 6 months, and 2 years, or something like that, or 2 months, like that. Yeah. 2, 6, and 1, or something like that. So why do we have to get that 3 times? And now I needed to get another one at the age of 45. Right. I mean, you know, I had to get 4. It's because it happens, and sometimes your body doesn't produce the immunity that you initially thought you were going to produce. And over time, your immunity lessens. I mean, look at what happens with, look what happened with penicillin, okay? And antibiotics. Doctors were throwing antibiotics at everybody left and right for the longest time, and people were starting to become immune to antibiotics and penicillin. So they had to give them harsher doses of penicillin and antibiotics. So now the doctors have backed off, and they only give antibiotics and penicillin when it's absolutely necessary, and people's immunity are starting to decrease so that they can take regular antibiotics instead of having to take those Z-packs that are like so, from what I understand, they're rough on your stomach. I mean, they're very hard. They put you on your ass sometimes, some people, if they've got to take them because they're so harsh. But it was because people were becoming immune to antibiotics.
Hey, Mel, hold that thought for a second. Hey, Mohler. Move your camera back about 3 feet. You'll be able to see all of you then.
Yeah.
He's setting up for his drink thing.
We're trying to, while you're talking, we're trying to do the setup here.
Yeah, you've got to go back a couple feet, dude, because I really don't want to be staring at your crotch while you're mixing drinks.
Yeah, or your belly for that matter, because that's what I'm looking at.
Should I do this in my underwear or G-string or something?
Oh my God! So, all right, let's move on from this. Definitely insightful. No, and you know what? These were all good points, and eventually a lot more. I'm expecting a lot more to come out as this new wave, I guess you call it, kind of like runs rampant across everything.
I would not be against getting a yearly COVID shot like a yearly flu shot, quite honestly.
Talking about at the same time? I mean, would that make sense?
No, you can't do them at the same time, although some people have. My doctor says not to do them at minimum. Yeah, you're supposed to get them at minimum 14 days apart. Right, 2 weeks. Yeah, that's exactly why I have to wait another. I have to wait until probably. Yeah, I'm going to wait until my birthday.
Yeah, speaking of which, we never got into this. Your cancer prognosis. How have you been doing, and what's next, and whatnot?
Okay. Well, let's put it this way: the incisions have healed. Rather well. They're not pretty. They don't have to be. I told my doctor that right away, right off the bat. Just get it out. I have to go for a small or a minor procedure on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at, after the surgery, we looked at the, they did mammograms, I guess, while I was under anesthesia, to make sure that they got all of what they needed to get. There is a questionable area. It's like a little finger that comes off almost pointing towards my breastbone, I guess I'll put it that way, to the left. And it's something that is so close to the skin, is going to do what they call a skin excision. So in other words, there's going to be, they're extending the scar, or it's going to be, they're going to take skin and tissue, and then of course, send it to pathology, blah, 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 make sure that they got it. And of course, we're going to do more mammogram or x-rays or whatever they want to do. But it's an in-office procedure under a local anesthesia. So that's not bad. But they sent my pathology report, which I'm really not happy about when they sent it. I talked to the girl from the radiology oncology department who said that she always felt that, and she's been there for 40 years just about. She's said that she always felt that the surgeons, after the surgery after the pathology report came out should be sending it off to this company. The company they send it to determines what the best course of treatment is. I don't know if they do it genetically or what, but they read the pathology report and they make the suggestion as to what would be the best treatment based on the type of cancer. Which, by the way, when I did my genetic testing, I tested negative for all 36 genes. This has a lot to do with a hormone receptor, and I think it's the estrogen, I forget which is why I got this present.
They found out your
my options are, and I could have already started, but
I said they found out you were really Leroy and not Lisa.
you know what? I'm going to smack you next time I see you. No, hit him for me. Anyway,
You hear that?
I was going to say, I could have started hormone therapy, because I'm going to end up being on hormone therapy regardless for the next 5 years. Okay?
Right.
But whether or not I have chemo and radiation, or just possibly radiation, or just possibly the chemo, no yet. I won't know until this report comes back, which I'm going to find out on the 3rd, because that's my follow-up with the hematology medical oncologist. So,
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah. It's like, and I have to go to the consultation with the cardiologist next Friday. I've already been to the pulmonologist who wants another CAT scan in 6 months. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But as I tell all the doctors, I said, you know, I might not be in the best shape, but round is a shape. So.
All right, well, definitely.
Otherwise, I'm feeling great. I'm bored to death. The doctor now wants me to stay out of work until after my follow-up from the skin excision, which is on the 10th.
So you've got like another month yet before you can go back.
I got at least 3 weeks, if not more.
So Cobra Kai drops on December 31st on Netflix.
Yeah, I know.
I know Chris and I, we binge watched all 10 episodes of season 3 in one sitting. We were up till like 4 o'clock in the morning doing that.
Yeah, I watched it already,
you and I, actually, I was really happy to see that there's the second season of Raising Dion is finally dropping in February.
I know. Has the little guy who played Dion grown up a little bit more, or what?
God, he is like so grown up now. He ain't that fat little fuck anymore. He's he is a bigger kid.
He definitely looks a lot bigger. I mean, he was like 9 years old or something like the original show. I don't know.
So a couple people who brought up WMMR, I think that was Scott, the radio station in Philly, and Lisa, you brought that up too. I was a huge fan of the Barsky show.
I don't remember that.
I'm actually friends with I'm friends with Paul Barsky.
Was our favorite DJ.
I'm friends with Paul Barsky on Facebook.
Cool.
But we can talk about that another time. But thank you for updating us. You know, definitely keep fighting a good fight, as Hillbilly Weatherman says.
Yep. Otherwise, yeah, you ain't getting rid of me yet.
All right.
I'm a tough one island girl. What can I tell you?
Oh, God. Spare us all. All right, well, I'm going to put you over here on this side.
While you're
because
I'm still in the same spot I've been in.
You're still in the same spot. Mohler.
Yes.
You and Angel want to introduce us to some holiday drinks.
Yeah, we're gonna get her on camera. She don't like the camera too much, but I'm gonna make her come on the camera.
You're not gonna make me come on the camera.
She likes being on the camera.
Wow, that sounded so dirty the way you said that.
She likes being on the camera. Don't let her fool you.
No, I don't.
Oh, Angel.
I'll suffer it for the cocktails.
I think she's afraid of her beauty or something. I don't know what it is, but
I'm not afraid of anything.
But anyway, yes, the main event has come.
I know I see Godiva liqueur there.
Yeah, I was gonna make like a
You wanna-
milkshake thing, but let's make we're first gonna make like a chocolate.
Not appropriate for this this gig.
In tribute to the cruise that we just went on and the beautiful Bahamas sunsets and sunrises we saw, we're going to make a sunset tropical drink. And then later, if you want more, I will make a Godiva milkshake.
So we actually have two for those that.
But if you don't have time for it.
We don't. If the time permits or don't permit, we'll just. My favorite out of the two is actually the Malibu sunset. It's very colorful.
I've heard of that. For some reason, I think sea breezes when I hear Malibu sunset.
If you're curious about the Angels Avalanche, then we'll do the Angels Avalanche, her version of it, apparently.
Yes, my.
Wendy, we got to do the drunken chocolate mousse again.
What about what?
He's got the drunken look again?
Yeah, the chocolate mousse.
Drunken chocolate mousse. I think that's what it was called. That was good. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Go for it, guys.
All right, so yes, we're going to do the.
First thing you need is the liquor.
Yes,
So
you
you
need
get
the
the
liquor.
Malibu
I
right
need
here.
the Malibu. I need 1 ounce of Malibu. From hey, now
You can use any rum.
if this fails, you can do the.
Yeah, you can use any. This is like coconut flavored rum, but you can use any rum. This you're gonna put like an ounce of it. It's like a shot, I guess.
Keep the stuff with the clubs away from Mindy.
And then
Come
I
on,
like
it's
putting
not-
peach schnapps in it because it gives it a little more of like a peachy sweetness to it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that rum chum?
What's that?
No, that's not rum sada.
No,
No,
it's,
that's Malibu. Here, I'll show you the. I'll
show
show
her-
Okay.
show them-
I'm looking at white bottles. I think rum sada.
Yeah, me too. I
Hey,
like that.
You know what's really funny right now? I'm watching Mohler stand back there mixing the drinks. And you remember that commercial where the guy comes out, I was like, oh, I thought we were doing
yeah.
the Zoom thing. And he's in his underwear.
You know what? I thought about that after I mentioned like the underwear thing. I said, you know what? That reminds me of that commercial. But no, I am fully clothed, so we're not doing this.
Yeah, we did.
Anything like that.
Can
We
you
don't wanna
back with
scare any-
flyers?
Yeah,
All
that's a
right,
family
so-
program, you know?
A little,
Yeah, right.
just a little bit.
So Angel wants to put a little twist in this.
Put a little peach schnapps in
So
it,
she
just a
wants a
splash.
Oh, peachy schnapps. Good stuff.
Good.
So we'll just put that in there. Angel wants to twist it.
My blackberry brandy downstairs. Get back in the kitchen where it belongs.
What's that?
Angel doesn't know that she's going to drink this whole thing after
Oh
I
my
make it.
Gosh.
Yeah, I want to see him chug that shit.
You
I
want,
just
you want to
drank
see
that
me
one.
chug it?
If he wants to see me do it.
Well,
But
we're
we'll
gonna,
share.
I'm going to.
All right, so we got Malibu, orange juice.
The deal is, I'm going to make it, and she's going to drink it. That's the deal here. She don't know. She signed the contract for it. She signed the contract for it.
2 ounces, good.
Don't worry about my little spills here because, like I said, I'm the truck
We
driver,
can,
not a bartender.
I know, you'll just lick it up from wherever you spilled it.
Michelle says it would be funnier if you were doing this in boxers.
Hey, it all tastes the same anyway. Don't worry about it. It all tastes the same. All right, so I need some pineapple. Oh, Libby's.
Shake it.
Libby's pineapple. Oh. Why does it seem like it was open? It like splashed me in the face.
Oh, I think it's leaking a bit. I don't know.
Of course, we got a defective.
Always get a leaker.
Of course, I got all over my hand already. So sticky, and nobody's going to say something with that.
What?
What? You heard me, sticky. Ugh. This might be a good bedtime drink. Did we lose the video, or just people are just being quiet
Maybe
now?
you're so intrigued. That Mike's on his
I don't think I'm doing that bad.
Mike's on his computer texting.
You guys should probably either post the recipe or post a link to the recipe
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I will do that.
I need the.
The cherry.
No, I don't need the cherry yet. Cherry's last.
What do you
I need the grenadine.
I'll wait for Terry's last because Terry's got on tap,
Take the cherry.
sort of.
Yeah, 'cause you want to put the cherry in first. I don't want to put the cherry in first.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking so dirty here, so dirty.
And
All right.
start to see the little gradient
I need
happening.
where's my stirrer? Right? Here, let me
It's
give you that.
just-
Just give me that. I need to stir that up.
No, don't stir.
Not yet. You want to put the whole thing in, and then
Just pop that in there, throw it in,
and then you want the
and
lemon.
then do a little lime.
Or you want it on
rub
the
around the rim.
you want it on the lid,
Yes, I want to rub on the rim with the lime. Yes.
or you want it all the way around.
Sure.
Ooh, you like it like that, don't you?
God, the way you say that is so fucking sexy.
All right.
I wish Max were here.
Oh, Max, good old Max.
Who claimed he was a porn star.
Oh, and then
You want to add your little. Why do I feel like this is like only a half? Well, I feel like we should add some more shit. I feel like we got shortchanged here.
no, I think it's perfect. Here, let me bring it up for a close up.
Give them a close up before I. No, let me stir it. You want me to stir
No
it?
stirring.
You
This
don't-
is a sunset. You got to look at the. Do you not see the gradients?
I see it.
I don't see anything.
Sure.
There you go.
Sorry, that it's supposed to be in layers of colors.
Well, you know,
Like
see the top
tequila
here?
sunrise, same thing.
You put a little too much grenadine, but it's kind of like a Mai Tai almost. But like, see, we got the top layer is very light, and then it kind of radiates. It's hard to tell from where you are, but from where I am, I do see like a gradation of like yellow to orange, and then like this like pinky.
Yeah,
Kind
a
of
little
like,
bit of the
yeah,
red
you
in
can
the
see
bottom there.
Yeah,
Do you want
and
me
like I think as this settles more, the like the redness will
I
appear
think
more
it's
there.
starting to show. If you put it down.
And I bet you if I put some more cherries in the bottom, maybe,
Yeah,
Or
you'll
like-
definitely start seeing the red.
or pomegranate.
Yeah,
I
I
could
was
put
gonna say it's like pouring a good beer to get a nice head on it. You do it down the side of the glass
oh, that's a good idea.
instead of just splashing it in, because then it mixes.
Yes, it's probably. Wait, to put the grenadine on the side of the glass, you're saying? Like pour it around the thing? Is that what you're saying?
You know, when you pour it down the side of the glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can still.
I could put a little bit.
You know what? Because you're drinking this, not me.
Oh my gosh. You're drinking some of it.
You're going to be the drunk one, not me.
All right,
Like-
I'm going to try to.
Yeah, didn't you say you have to work tomorrow?
Don't
Yeah,
worry about it. I'm not worried. I took
Yeah,
a
so
nap
you
already.
can't drink.
Yeah, he's not.
Exactly.
I'm not
I'm
worried.
just kidding. Oh,
I had samples of this earlier, so it all wore off already. So
The way that runs down the side of the cup is just.
I wish I could have done it in like slow motion. That would have been like a little more interesting. But now it's a little redder at the bottom. I think as it settles longer, the red will become more
More prominent, yeah.
deep.
It also
But you
depends on which is heavier. If you know. which
And
of
also,
the
I mean, if we poured
ingredients is the
more
heavier.
orange, if we poured more orange and pineapple, that
It's
probably would work.
science.
I already had like 1 cup of juice, so I don't think I should drink it too much more.
One cup of
Well,
juice, air
if
quotes.
you're doing a half, I will do the
Yeah,
half
right.
right on the live video here. I'll just chug that shit.
Have a little bit. Yeah, here.
Put it in that glass. The cherry's on the bottom anyway.
What kind of cherries are you using?
You pick which one. These are maraschino cherries
Okay.
Yes, they're already in alcohol.
in a glass jar, not a plastic.
All right, I'll sample this stuff since she's already had her
Now,
fill up there.
what kind of occasion would you mix this drink for?
Oh, this would definitely be like, well, I mean, this was holiday with pomegranates and so, but I think it would make a great summertime drink too. Poolside,
Yeah.
beach,
This is
anytime.
this is gonna kind of be like a new new segment. Whether we do it on the show at sometimes or if we, but most of the time now I think this was a special occasion just to do it for the first time on the show. But I think Angel and I are gonna make maybe weekly or bi-weekly videos.
In the TV industry, they call this a backdoor pilot.
Well, whatever you want to call it, but
we're just having fun.
I'm calling out all the members. Any member that wants to send Angel or I a recipe of any drink you want us to make on a live video, we will accommodate your request.
If we had the
Ooh, you know what is good? You know what's really good in the summer? Frozen brandy Alexander's.
I've heard that.
It's an ice cream drink. I think I have
now you're asking
Wacko's recipe for it somewhere. I'd have to find it.
You know what? I'm
it's not summer yet. I'll have time.
Yeah, so somebody's gonna be like,
I'm
do one of those like purple cement.
Yeah, so anybody that's watching the video right now, I mean, I will put a post out. Send me your recipe, your special drink that you like, or whatever. I'm game to try anything. Just don't send me the recipe for Long Island iced tea, because that does.
The stories with that. I was there for that.
Just don't tell me to make I can make a Long Island iced tea, but don't tell me to chug it.
I'm from Long Island. I've never had a Long Island iced tea.
It's not strong, but it's
yeah.
tasty.
I stepped in your barf, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, really.
I just want to drink.
I don't do the drunk thing very well.
Mohler, you remember that redhead that used to go to the Washington Inn, Courtney? She's kind of tall.
Yeah.
So I guess between her and Naomi, they tried demonstrating the proper way to do a blowjob shot on me.
I heard about them.
I think, Lisa, I told you this story.
I need the recipe on that.
Seriously, you know another one that's really good, and I believe it's a shot, snake bites.
Yeah.
Snake bites are pretty good.
I just came across another recipe for a mudslide, like a mudslide with ice cream or something.
Well, that's what we were gonna make. Except I'm using Godiva, and I'm gonna use.
If you want to see that version, Angel is gonna.
I can do it. If you have time.
I will tape her doing it because I will tape her doing it if you want to see it. If not, we'll do our own little separate one off this show.
I've got more. I've got one that we could do for our next show.
All right.
Cool.
Do you remember the night me, you, and Robin went to Bowl Grill in Rifton?
Yes.
Do you remember the drink that we got really fucked up on, the three of us?
No, I don't remember the drink.
Purple Hooters.
Wow, that was a different time.
Purple Hooters. The Shakers.
Now it's coming back to me.
Wait, we got to put that on the show next month.
You want us to do that one?
But we'll do that one next month. We'll do Purple Hooters.
All right, we'll look that up and we'll get that together for the next show.
So I want to bounce something off you for next month. What's your work schedule looking like?
I don't know. Just tell me what you want to do, and I'll think. Cause I'm not sure. You know, like I said, it's a whole different ball game now. So now that I want to start training for my CVLA, you know, but you know. I'm not gonna have them abuse me, you know, and work all crazy hours just because I have an A now. I'm still gonna try to keep my same schedule I have. But yeah, I'm pretty open, you know, for the most part. Like Sunday, Mondays are good. I mean, Saturday nights are good. Anything during the week is a hit or miss. So, but what do you got?
I'm thinking about maybe we do next month an in-person show.
In-person show. So well, then you're gonna have to do it on a Saturday if you want to do an in-person show.
I'm thinking like maybe at your place or my place or something. We just tape it in one location.
Well, usually I'm down at Endy, but we can come up to your place and we can do it up there if you want.
I can go up to you.
Let me work out the logistics of that, because I'm almost thinking. I'm trying to think what's going on next month.
But if you want to do something like that, we can, or at some point we can do it. Whether it's next month or in the months to come, you know, we can do that.
I was thinking we'd do something during the Super Bowl, like before the Super Bowl, we pregame.
Oh, you want to? Yeah, we can definitely do that. You know, I mean,
That would be fun.
that would be very interesting. I think I would.
I would have to find out what treatments and all that crap I would be doing.
Who said we were inviting you?
It's an interesting option.
Lisa, who said you were invited?
Oh, you know what? Screw you.
I'm kidding.
I know. Just gonna smack you next time I see you anyway. Just because.
You guys got a second drink for us?
Are you guys?
you up for
If it past anybody's bedtime, we'll do it. Angel will do it actually, and I'll film for you because she is. It's called the Angel Avalanche. Her version of it. God knows, I don't know. I know it has. I know she's going to use Godiva in it, and I know she's going and eggnog, and I think she's going to put this Irish cream liquor in it. I think, and some ice cream, and whatever else she has going on, we're going to watch and see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, we'll do one more before we wrap up tonight's festivities.
Right. You can stay there now.
She's going to come over here and she's getting the rest of her ingredients together, and I don't think we have to move the camera. I think if she does it over here, I think it'll be fine.
Just like throw the shit off to the side, like, all right, here we go.
Second.
Well, Angel's going to take the floor in a second here, and she's going to show you her version of the Angel's Avalanche.
I'm just getting all the stuff.
She's going to come in with like a shopping cart filled with booze.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh, I will do it if you.
Well, you can just stay here with me.
I will stay here with you because I know you're camera shy.
I forgot how short you were.
I'm not really shy. Just don't like.
All right.
So this ice cream is a bit hard.
So
So
you didn't take it out like you were supposed to.
well, I didn't
Yeah,
know
well,
you were gonna-
compared to Mohler.
Oh, you can
Everyone's
see.
shorter than Mohler. He's like 6'10".
Does chocolate chip, coffee chip, ice cream.
Nice.
If you like coffee, ice cream, that's the one to get. If you like, my favorite's rum raisin from Haagen-Dazs, but if you like chocolate or vanilla ice cream, you can put that in here too.
Oh yeah, scoop it just like that.
It's a bit hard. So.
Really?
I don't know. She didn't mention this being hard.
You got problems.
Probably not ice cream.
Experience issues.
Put this
I
in the
said you don't want it soft. You want it hard.
Lisa's gonna unfriend us after the show.
so
Or
No,
Facebook's
already
gonna
done it.
flag us. Or Facebook's going to flag us. One of the two.
Probably. I'm about due for Facebook jail. I've been out for a while.
You've been out for a while.
You've been in Facebook jail? I've never been in Facebook jail, and all the crap that I do?
Yeah, I was in Facebook jail last year, right before the winter storm. I sent Mark Zuckerberg a personal message, the bots personal message. I just laced. I went on a profanity-laced tyrant on all of them. I mean, it was.
Dude.
you can use that for juice.
No, I use this.
I have Godiva chocolate liqueur. We had to go to 3 different places at this.
Yeah,
Right?
Godiva was like out of stock at like 3 different stores, and we were on a mission today.
We put like a shot of that, and I don't measure it. I just kind of use my brain and figure it out, right?
Just eyeball it. That's the best way to do it.
That's what I said.
Absolutely.
Mohler, I
This
gotta
is-
show.
This is Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog made with real dairy cream, rum, brandy, and blended whiskey. And it tastes kind of like Irish cream,
Right.
but it tastes like eggnog. But it has like that Irish cream kind of consistency, like a cordial. Do you guys like drinking at all? I'm not really a huge drinker, but I could drink something that's sweet, like this stuff.
Ever since I almost died in 2014, I try to avoid alcohol if I can.
Yeah, I do too. I don't really love alcohol, but like if I'm on the cruise or like on vacation or something, then I don't mind. I'll have
I'm
like a
good for
couple
like an eighth of a glass of wine.
drink or two. I like sangria. I'll like have a mojito or
Ooh.
something, but
Mel
Not
makes a good sangria.
yeah.
Mohler,
Yeah.
I gotta show you this. I gotta show you this Christmas ornament we got. Hold on, let me go get it real quick. Don't go anywhere.
I'm gonna
Where am I going?
I'm gonna put the milkshake in the blender while you're doing that. After I decorate the.
You gonna use the cups?
So I'm just decorating.
Oh,
the cup.
damn, now I can't remember where I saw it.
A little bit of this, right?
Yeah,
Or actually,
very little.
I'll give it to Franca if you don't want it. 'Cause she was saying she
Well,
wanted
if you put it in one of your fancy little cups here, your edibles,
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
put it in your edible one. I'll do a quick one. But other than that, I'm not doing a big one.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that.
But I will do it in one of your edible ones.
All right,
Has
so
anybody seen her edibles? They are very, very nice.
my cookie cups.
Cookie
but-
cups.
All right, hold your ears. I'm gonna put the blender on for a second.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool.
Oh my gosh.
What? The too much? I warned you.
I thought you were killing it over there.
So I gotta show you two something. So this is an ornament we found online. It says nice shot. And it's got like a needle thing for 2021. And in the middle here, you actually put a small bottle of alcohol from the liquor store.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
We have one for, what was that?
Where'd you get
That's
that?
cute.
I think Mel got them at Amazon.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, we have one for me, one for Vicky, and one for Krista.
All right, so here we go.
All right, so
Pouring it in.
Does Vicky still want hamburgers?
What's
I'm
that?
actually here for a while today.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Cool.
The cookie cup.
while you were away, she
I'm
was
looking-
killing.
She what?
She was killing the ice cream in the blender.
I was killing the ice cream? Oh. Wow.
No, it looks
Fucking
good.
murderer.
It actually looks good.
I don't know
Oh
if you can see
wow,
it.
that's good. Nice. Now, what did you pour it in?
This is a cookie cup. This is a peanut butter cookie, and I filled it with like chocolate. You see the chocolate rim there?
That
Yeah,
is
you want the
cool.
peanut butter.
The
Yeah, you
inside's
want
all
a piece of peanut butter.
the
With
inside's all
chocolate, all chocolate I need to. Not a
Lisa,
peanut butter
shut
person.
up.
Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Oops, I already made a mess.
Look, you're
But-
dumping it all over the counter.
I know I made a mess.
You're flagged.
See, that's what happens when
Forget that.
it's
Spill it.
Yep. She dribbled.
I
so,
see.
anyway,
Just sing again.
to keep it sealed. Notice it's totally sealed though, like it's not leaking at all because I had to put a lot of chocolate in the center inside and like coat it so
Right.
that it's
Got it.
basically sealed with chocolate.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they are
Cheers.
neat.
All right, let's do it. Cheers.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
You make
I'm looking
fabulous.
for that other recipe that I saw today.
The Angel's
It's really
form where
good.
she's extending the pinky, that is great. That is like top of the line right there. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Oh yeah, this is
And
our
then we
new
got
thing.
two- and then we
Oh
got
wait,
two more.
we got more to drink.
What?
Hold on.
You're not to drink it.
No, just give me one. You know what? At this point, it don't matter.
Mohler, every time you say you're going to stop at 1, you add like 3 zeros at the end.
Exactly.
I said every time
What?
you say you're going to stop at 1, you add like 3 zeros at the end of it.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
And see, I can't even call you an alcoholic because you don't go to meetings.
I know, right?
Yeah, actually, he's pretty good. Like he drink maybe a beer or two.
You know what?
But that's about it.
I keep a limit. Usually, if I'm gonna drink for the day, I don't like to mix different drinks.
He doesn't drink like this normally at all.
I don't even mess with half of this shit. You know, I'm mainly a beer drinker. I will occasionally, you know, on Thursday nights we do a thing called shot frame. So we do shots. So I will do shots on Thursday, just one, because we call it shot frame. And basically what that is, you know, we all go up and bowl as normal, and usually the one with the lowest pin count, you know, usually winds up buying the shots.
Mm-hmm.
I trust me, I have bought my share of shots over time. So, but I actually have been pretty good this year. I've been bowling pretty good in shot frame, so I might have bought a couple times this year, but you know, other than that, like in previous years, I think I found myself paying almost every week. But we usually break it down because, you know, when you get like 6 shots and you got 5 people, I think I'm not exactly sure what the cost of it is, but it usually costs the top person like $20.
That's actually not bad.
And then like the second person has to pay like $10. So I think every week we're shelling out like $30, and I think that includes tip, something like that. I want to say it's like 25, like 20 or like around $30 that we shoot out. Maybe they pay more. I don't know, but I know it's just you know, we kind of like split it up though.
So I got a homework assignment for you for next month, or for our next show. So
right, what do you got?
I've got the Purple Hooters. Now, do you want to do that? I will give you and Angel the choice. Do you want to do Purple Hooters to make for drinks to make for the next show?
Right.
Do you want to do Purple Hooters, or do you remember the Flaming Moe from The Simpsons?
No.
I'm trying to remember.
We're not professionals here, but
No, I don't. I kind of don't remember it, but if I could refresh my memory, I could probably go back and look at it and it probably hit me.
So your challenge for next month, should you two accept it, I know I've got a couple people. Michelle is saying do the Purple Hooters. I want to see you do the Flaming Moes.
You know what?
But hold on, there's a caveat. Hold on, there's a caveat to it. If you cannot obtain all the ingredients for the Flaming Moes, then I'll withdraw it.
I'm not even sure what all goes in it first. I have to look that up.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Got to look it up.
You know what? I'm not even going to comment on this just yet, then, because you know what? To make it the safe bet, because I know we can come up with all the ingredients for the Purple Hooter. We're going to do that one.
All right, good deal, good deal.
Challenge accepted. Purple Hooters it is.
I will actually, while we're still here, I think Lisa fell asleep, by the way.
No, I'm still here. I'm looking for the freaking recipe I was telling you about. Now I can't find it, of course. But I thought I had shared it to my wall, but I didn't, apparently. Next time I will. Gosh darn it. Dang, dang, dang. Oh, there it is. It's frozen mudslides. That's what it was.
We can do frozen mudslides. Angel likes to make frozen drinks.
Yeah, this is a cup of ice, an ounce of vodka, an ounce of Kahlua, an ounce of Bailey's, 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, and chocolate syrup.
You know, like I said,
It's kind of like, almost like what I did, except I put the eggnog liqueur
Oh yeah.
instead of Kahlua, because I don't love Kahlua, so I put Godiva
Yeah.
and the eggnog liqueur instead. But this is basically the mudslide, but with variations.
Got
With a
it.
little,
Your
but
version
not
of
as
it. Your
not as
version of it.
fancy or fancy.
It's not
That's why you
fancy.
call it, that's why she calls it the Angel Avalanche and not technically a mudslide.
Yeah, that's it.
Because she puts her own concoctions in it. So yeah, like I said, anyone still watching, listening, I will put something out there. Maybe like for you guys to post on there. We're gonna do this on the side too. We're just not gonna do this on the show. So like Angel and I, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, we'll post a video of whatever drink we might want to pick. But you're more than welcome to. We will also make your drinks also on the side shows also. Just put it on the page or of your special drinks that you want us to make and try. I'm sure I'm going to die from this, but that's okay. And I'm in trouble, but that's okay. So, like I said, challenge accepted. Put your recipes on the page, and Angel and I are going to accommodate you.
So the flaming mower, the flaming Homer, it has 8 types of liquor together, including
That
tequila,
sounds like an iced tea.
cream de menthe, and schnapps. And that's also topped off with cough syrup.
Cough syrup.
That's what gives it the flame.
Yeah, see, if we make that, like, drink that, and then I'm expected to drink that.
I didn't
Then
say anything about drinking it.
It
I
has to
said
be
nothing about drinking it.
You just want us to make it.
I just said making it. I said nothing about drinking it.
Well, we might as well make fruity, healthy drinks then instead of cocktails.
But I'm gonna look that drink up.
Shit, I can make a glass of water. That's healthy.
Uh-huh.
With lemon and cucumber.
What I want to look that up. I'm gonna get all the ingredients. At one point, Angel and I are gonna attempt to try to make that drink, and I don't know.
Sounds gross.
As far as drinking it, I'm not sure what's gonna happen there, but we will.
Yeah, we don't have to drink it.
But we will definitely accommodate that at some point. We're gonna get all the ingredients because I know that seems like there's a lot of work to this, but we'll look it up though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it all sounds good.
Have you ever had it before?
I haven't had it, but I'm always game to try something different sometimes.
Had what?
Well, I'm glad.
Hopefully, I'm not shooting fire out of my mouth by the end of it.
Dude, if you start shooting fire, I'm fucking running.
If it's got cough syrup, I'm definitely not trying it.
Come on.
I won't even take cough syrup when I'm sick.
It's no different than if you're just taking it. Oh, it has all kinds of other liquor in it, but what the hell? What do you got to lose? But yeah, send your recipes to us. We'll try anything. Hopefully I don't puke from any of it, but but we'll try it.
Yeah, we don't need a repeat of the Long Island iced tea.
Like I said, don't send me the recipe for Long Island iced tea because I already know what that does to me. And if you do send it to me, I'm just going to give it to Angel to drink.
Actually, you know what? Here's an idea. Do a drink and a shot. You want to do that?
Do a what?
A drink and a shot.
A drink in the shot, you said?
No, a drink and a shot. Like you make a mixed drink and then do a separate drink making a shot. Yeah.
As a chaser.
We could definitely do that too, yeah.
So for next month, do the Purple Hooters for the drink and snake bites for the shot.
Mm.
You have to send us the recipe for that.
Yeah, send the recipe for that. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Also, if you look online, I know Mel and I had it at one point like 15 years ago. We had the complete bartender's guide. It had like over 500 drinks in it.
Yeah. Well,
you've got
we'll
nothing.
Well, this is like a different. This is a different segment. You know, this is something added to the group. You know, because we have this show now. Angel and I are just going to spice it up a little bit, and and do drinks for you guys. Make drinks for you guys.
More. I want to see you make them in a banana. I want to see you make them in a banana hammock.
Nice.
I mean, technically, that wouldn't get us thrown off of Facebook. You're covered.
That's like one of the things I was talking about.
Yeah.
Now, Angel, if you show up in a banana hammock, I'm going to question Mike's life choices.
You know they're dying laughing. No, I don't think she will show up in a banana hammock.
I do know a dude named Angel. He was my partner at Synchronos for a while.
What you staying off camera now? You're dying now, aren't you? She like red as her.
My cheeks are too red to return.
Nice.
You have chased her off camera for this show.
So
for the remainder of this show, she's just dying over there.
Well,
Mike, if I didn't still have like 25 boxes of books in storage, I have a vintage copy of old Mr. Boston's Mr. Boston's. It's a bartender's guide, but it's vintage. It's from like 1935.
Oh, nice.
Had some really interesting stuff. I don't know if I had a newer version, and I misplaced one of them and never found it. So, but it's probably in storage. I'm not going to go there and find it. But I'm looking at the complete bartender's guide, and they're available. Barnes and Noble, Amazon.
I think Angel got one. I think she has an older version too, or something.
It's like my parents' old one.
So, the
Mr. Boston's one I think was my mother. No, I found that at a flea market. That's right. But the original one, the newer one, was my mother.
So next month when we get together, we'll talk college football and NFL playoffs. We'll follow up with you, Miss Spivak, to see how you're doing. Make sure you're not dead yet. And if you are, I'm sure we can fill in time with like someone who's alive.
Hopefully by then I'll have started treatment. So
we'll
see what happens.
We'll go over our holidays to see how it went, and we'll do Purple Hooters and maybe Snake Bites next month.
That ought to be interesting. And in the meantime, send recipes to us, and we're gonna be doing weekly drinks, on our own time, off the show. So
Or monthly.
Or monthly, or who knows, whenever we feel like it, just send the recipes. We'll make them. We'll do a video, and we'll try anything at least once.
And also too, if you guys out there watching this live, or most of them will watch it on replay like they usually do, which our replay views are like ridiculous. If you have something that you want Mike and I to talk about, send us ideas. We'll talk about anything, especially like his use of a blow-up doll, or how he used to be Freddie Mercury's doppelganger. I'm still trying to find the photos of that.
Oh boy.
He did. He had the porn stash and everything back in 99, 2000.
Yes, I did.
So yeah, send us ideas. Want us to talk about it? We'll We'll discuss it. We'll debate it. We'll make yawn out of boredom.
I think this show.
No, you got to understand. I don't sleep much, so or well, I should say.
Yeah. You're a cyborg. We get it. Go ahead, Mohler.
You just cut her off like that.
Listen, Matty.
Yeah,
They
so
take you
like,
out in one shot. Shut up.
What do you got, Mohler?
yeah, so like you said, you know, if you have ideas for the show, like for us to talk about, that's another good idea. Like I've been saying, the ones that are watching and the ones that are watching on replay, and plus I'll post stuff. Send me recipes, Angel and I recipes. We're gonna make this a side gig, you know, that we do on our own time, off the show, on the show, whatever. So we'll try any drink you want us to, you know, just send it to us, and you know, if I die from it, I guess, you know, you'll know.
No, because we'll have to find a new Mohler. And do you know the audition process and shit like
Do
that?
we really want to? We really want to find a new Mohler?
I mean, the audition process and.
It takes
a lot of work.
It took me a lot to audition for this show to get in. I mean, man, the process was, oh my God.
Yeah, we set the bar lower than a midget.
I know.
Man. Hey, listen! Don't make me stick Danny on you.
Yeah. You dwarfs, I get it. There's 7 of them.
But yeah, it's been a very intriguing show tonight. So I hope you all like it. I hope you all have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully,
I do want to close. I do want to close this out with one last thing. As most of you know, in the wintertime on my weather pages, if you're a small business and want to get your name out there and want to sponsor the forecasts, shoot me an email, shoot me a message. It costs absolutely nothing.
Cool.
So I think Angel sponsored for a little bit a couple years ago. You sponsored last year when you had the car service.
She wants to sponsor her again.
Okay.
Thank you.
For Port
When I
Graphic,
finally become somebody's personal chef.
Yeah, she's gonna send you the info what she wants you to say on it.
Would you like me to talk like this?
Oh my God, that's just creepy.
Little bit. Hey, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, you guys. Mohler, you and Angel have a great holiday as well. You guys got anything planned?
Yes, let's finish off. I'm glad you asked because I slightly forgot about it. So the next 2 weekends are pretty much, the one weekend is pretty much, it's already booked. The other weekend, we're still deciding what we're going to do. But
Christmas Eve, we're going to Atlantic
but we are going to Atlantic City next weekend for Christmas.
Yeah.
We're going to.
Anybody can join if you have nobody to spend Christmas with, or you don't want to do what you normally do, or don't want to see your family during Christmas, then come meet us down in Atlantic City.
So the other thing, yeah, I'm glad she brought that up. That's because another thing that Angel and I are going to be doing is I want to call it like a meet and greet. You know, most people do know who I am personally, but there's a lot of people in this group that are local, that's seen us, you know, on camera, on the show, and you know, whatever. But Angel and I are going to do another little thing. I call it like a meet and greet. We're going to like pick, rather than like me putting out an event for it and, you know, inviting people. What we're gonna do is Angel and I are going to be at a specific location. We will give you all the information of where we might be, where we will be, and you're all you locals, you know, and whoever else wants to come, are more than welcome to join us for whatever.
For a drink,
whatever we decide to do that day. So that's another thing that Angel and I are pointing out to the group. Come out and join us. We don't bite, you know.
You saying that you're going to put out information of where you might be? Should that be like a red flag, or do I need to bring like some kind of self-defense shit?
No, like New Year's Eve, for example, like we're gonna go get dinner, and then we're gonna go hang out in Allentown, right? Or go to the Wind Creek Casino, probably.
Yeah.
And so if we're out there and we're like having a drink and we're like doing something, we're just gonna, you know, just say, hey, we're here. If you got nothing to do, then stop by.
Like I said, we don't bite. We got our rabies shots. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, my.
There's some people that do need like 6 months notice to like be able to do anything and put it on their calendar. But like there are some people who just normally sitting in front of the television doing nothing and they have nothing better to do.
What like Mike?
And maybe they just want to get out of the house. So
masturbation to porn, Brenda. Passes the time.
Let's say you're scrolling through Facebook and you see like, you know, oh, okay, Angel and Mike are at Wind Creek, you know, they're having drinks or whatever, or they're having like music and like bands and everything at the Steel Stacks for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So like if we're there and you have nothing better to do, you're like just sitting around, you could come and meet us and have a drink, not even alcohol, just like hang out and, you know, dance and have conversation. That would be nice. You know?
With Facebook's algorithm, we'll get the notification on January 2nd that Mike and Angel were at Wind Creek on December 31st. Message them to let them know you're in the area to say hi.
I know, right? Like 3 days later. Yeah.
That is the problem. That is a problem.
That's the whole problem with that, because people are going to look at that and say, that was like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm laying low this year. I just, you know, I gotta be careful. So I'm just laying low, even if it's by myself, because I think my kid's working. My kid works New Year's Eve. I think she's off on Christmas Day. So.
Well, we're just not really just talking about New Year's. We're you know, like 2022 is coming around. You know, we're gonna be at,
like some Sundays we go to the winery and like they'll have a band playing, so we'll be there like all afternoon just having some wine slushies and watching the band play.
right.
Yeah, no, I just realized New Year's Eve is a couple of days after I have that little procedure done, so I definitely am laying low.
Hey, Mohler.
Yeah.
We don't expect to come out after that. No,
we understand.
But like there'll be a lot.
My life is like in a holding pattern, and I'm like circling around the friggin' airport, waiting for something to happen. So.
Hey, Mohler.
You know,
I remember last year we were talking about maybe starting a brew together.
Yes.
Do we want to look into that for maybe 22 or 23?
Yeah, that we'll have to bring that to surface again. That reevaluate that situation.
I was thinking about that last week.
When we were doing these shows regularly, we know we were on the different topics, and then you know, we all went our separate ways off the show and stuff. And you know, I think the group stayed intact, you know, because I still put stuff out there just to get people interacting and whatever. But, you know, I think this show in general, you know, when we were doing it regular and we're back again, I think, you know, just some people, give people something to look forward to.
Yeah, now that I have a union job.
Yeah, now that you have a union job. And also, you know, now we're, you know, Angel and I are going to do the, different cocktails and stuff like that. Get the group members involved. Sent by the group members sending recipes to us, and we'll make them. And you know, and like Angel and I talked about, you know, we're kind of going to do like the meet and greet thing. We're going to go. We might be somewhere on a specific day. You know, we're just going to put it out there. If you have nothing better to do that day, you want to come out and shoot the shit with us, have a drink or whatever we may be doing, come on out. Like
That's the skin off our butt.
so like, you know, I think, you know, when camping season comes around, maybe we get into some like, you know, maybe people maybe there's people in this group that like camping. Maybe we have a little bonfire or something going on or whatever.
Mhm.
So, you know, you don't have to stay the night, but if you want
Come
to,
go fishing.
yeah, there's like kayaking. There's all kinds of different stuff, you know. And Angel and I are looking into like different campgrounds. I mean, the one we usually go to is very nice, but there's so many you can go to that we're going to
there is.
That we're going to explore next year. So, but we're going to 2022, we're going to bring this group even closer, you know. We're going to, you know, do more exciting things, you know, to get people involved or whatever. So, I think 2022 is going to be a good year. So, you know, whether it's with the show or whatever, we're going to really get this group going, you know. Mike and I are going to talk about getting this brew thing going, you know, hopefully, you know, get that, you know, in the works. So, see how that goes. But that's all I have for tonight. And, you know, I want to have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll let Mike finish off.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we'll get that going. You know, we got a lot to look forward to in 2022, brother. Definitely.
Yeah, so I think I always look, you know, for a new year, you know, it's always a promising outlook. You know, 2022 is definitely, you know, I'm going into that, you know, I'm leaving 2021 on a solid note, and I'm going to go into 2022 like a roaring lion, you know. I got, you know, it's going to be a great year, you know. It's going to be a good learning experience with me, you know, driving tractor trailer. God willing, you know, that, you know, I stay safe. You know, I do what I need to do to, you know, keep going with my career and whatever, and you know, move, you know, make that money. So I'll have an update for you where I stand on the next show as far as like we've been doing Lisa's cancer updates. I'll give you an update where I stand with, you know, my CDO training with the Class A on the next show. So you can put that in your notes for when you do your programming for it.
Yeah, we just got and right around the new year we'll come up with an announce for our next date. It's probably going to be 4 weeks, most likely, probably right around the 17th, the 16th. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Put out there whenever you're available. Shoot me a text. I think next month's pretty much open for me. I don't think there's anything really going on. But so I think any weekend or whatever or day next month will probably be okay.
Beautiful. All right. Well, listen, happy holidays, everyone. Mohler, Angel, happy holidays. Lisa, happy holidays. Yeah. I know I'll talk to you beforehand.
Yeah. Yep.
And everyone, have a good holiday. We'll see you next time.
Merry, happy. Be safe, everyone.
Take care, you too.
See ya.
Bye-bye.